Hey everyone, it's been a bit since I've made a review on BGC. I'm really disappointed because I really wanted to review every episode of this season because I feel like just everything in general about this season was really different. But I mean, I got really sidetracked, had a lot of shit going on, and it's like this season went by so fast. It's like I feel like season 12 just started like last week, and now tonight is the final part of the reunion. This is crazy. But I thought about it and decided instead of just reviewing the reunion, and not doing anything about the season, what I wanna do is I wanna review the reunion. But before I review the reunion, I really want to backtrack and review, like, at the end of the season, like the very last episode, how I felt about every girl who was in the house the whole season. With the exception of Lindsay, because Lindsay was, gone by the time I did the last one I did. So I'm just going to start off. I'm going to go with people who left, like in the order they left, okay, for the most part. Okay, so the one who left after Lindsay, Red. I feel like Red is given way less credit than she deserves. I feel like Red was genuinely one of the people in the house who did want to change, and even though it's arguable that she didn't really put forth as much effort as she should have put forth to change, I understand that, she whooped Jada's ass and she swore on her father, and there are certain things she did that, let me just address, first and foremost, let me address the whole issue when it comes to everyone saying that Red was fucked up for fighting Jada. I don't personally think Red was fucked up for fighting Jada. I really don't. I feel like, in all honesty, if Jada has the mouth and keeps running her mouth, knowing she's gonna get hit eventually, then why should Red hold back? It doesn't matter how small you are or how tall you are. If you're gonna talk disrespectful and talk rude to someone who has anger issues, believed to get hit in the face. Brit. Um, I think I'm one of the few who don't hate Brit. There's something about Brit I really respect and like, and I feel like what I respect and like about Brit is Brit kind of spoke her mind a majority of the time. Most of the time she did speak her mind. She was very loud and she didn't really fight that much, even though she spoke on fighting a lot. But I mean, that's the thing, is fighting really doesn't make you bad. I personally, my definition, everyone's definition of it is different. So no matter what my definition is, it isn't going to matter. Brit's definition isn't going to matter to some people, and that's fine. I think what made Brit bad was the fact that Brit spoke her mind and was upfront about the way she felt and didn't really give a shit what anyone thought about it. She didn't care that people didn't like that she was loud. She didn't care that people didn't like that she walked around talking like she was going to fight people. Brit, at the end of the season, or at the end of her time there, she did get very negative, and it upset me because I felt like she did need to be there. She could have benefited from it. It would have been awesome to see Brit walking away knowing that she didn't have to, fight all the time to, you know, what's it called? Prove herself. It would have been cool. I feel like that's the one thing this season had that I really respected was the girls, for the most part, actually were there to change. And I feel like when it comes to like other seasons, like in the past, they weren't there to change. They didn't really care about changing. They wanted to just party and be ratchet and get paid to go club after the show, which is fine. Whatever. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. If the show didn't have any fights in it, I'd probably be kind of unentertained. Just saying. Okay, I'm gonna do it a bit differently order-wise. Who's left? Let me see. Red, Brit. Asia. Asia, when she first entered the house, like her first time, like the first few episodes of her there, I did not like her. I felt like Asia was like just so pointless to even be there. Asia didn't do anything. Asia hooked up with Blue, and that was about it. Like, I didn't feel like Asia really had a valid reason for being there. And then Asia, definitely grew on me. I really liked Asia. Like, by the end of the season, I didn't love Asia. She wasn't one of my favorites, but I could definitely say I have a respect level for Asia that I can respect, like, the way she is and what she does, and I can understand where she comes from with certain things. Like, I mean, I feel like that's part of the thing that I always really cherished about the show in itself, is you get to kind of watch, I mean, the ones who do change, you get to kind of watch these girls, like, become better people and actually try to fix themselves. Next girl I'm going to talk on is Delilah. Watching the Super trailer and seeing that her very first appearance, she got punched in the face by Britt, and the way I heard about her, I was like, okay, I already know, like, before the season starts, this bitch is gonna annoy me. Like, I'm gonna hate her, she's gonna be another Annie, like, ew. I have never been so wrong in my life. Delilah is literally one of the most entertaining girls who have ever stepped on that show. What I adore about Delilah is the fact not even 10 minutes in the house, and legitimately, like, everyone is so pissed at her just because of the fact, like, I don't know, like, what I just adore about her is she doesn't even give a shit. Like, she was pretty much just reading all of these girls, like, just, like, to their faces. Like, she did not care. Like, to Lo, she goes, ooh, look at you getting all ratchet. And there was something about Delilah. I didn't think Delilah was crazy because people say Delilah's crazy. Delilah's not crazy. Delilah just genuinely does not give a shit. She doesn't care that, she knew looking at all of these girls, I'm sure she knew looking at Lauren. Lauren could fuck her up. Britt could fuck her up. Jonica could fuck her up. Like, all of these girls, with the exception of Slim, like, she could probably look at and judge, like, she could whoop my ass if I come at her the wrong way. But did that really stop her from speaking her mind and saying shit that would probably get her punched in the face? No. And that was what I loved about Delilah. Delilah was entertaining. Everything she said, like, I mean, it's to the point where she was arguing with Lauren, and I love Lauren, and I was still laughing my ass off. Like, that was an entertaining argument, Lauren versus Delilah, because I feel like it's like you had to mix, like, Lauren's arguments are always the funniest thing ever, just because of the way she talks and the things she says. Just so funny. And Delilah's funny arguing because it's like Delilah doesn't even have to raise her voice and get mad. And she had my favorite reaction ever to getting your ass beat, which is going, that was, like, completely rude, which was pretty funny. I liked that, and I feel like Delilah definitely will go down in history as being one of the most entertaining replacements to shake shit up, like, right away. Okay. The next girl I want to speak on is Slim. Slim, I understand, is a very controversial girl to get onto because she's given the title of fake, flip-flopper, not a bad girl. And I just want to jump in and shoot down all of this hate on Slim because honestly, I feel like people at this point try too hard to nitpick and find things not to like about Slim. If you really look back at Slim's whole entire journey throughout the season, maybe Slim didn't deserve to be there. I mean, or not deserve, but maybe she shouldn't have been there. That's the thing is, like I said, everyone has their own definition of a bad girl, Like, Slim's definition is different than other people's, and that's why I feel like you can't really say, Like, if someone makes it that far in the house and someone considers themselves a bad girl, you can't say, you're not a bad girl to me, because your definition of it is completely different than someone else's. It's an unfair statement. The thing I loved about Slim was I feel like even though everyone thought she was fake and phony, honestly, I feel like Slim was actually kind of genuine. And the reason I say Slim was kind of genuine was because Slim was nice to people. Slim was nice to people who this is the thing, is everyone, I don't really know how to explain this right now on Slim because I'm saving the one who I really have to read into for being fake for later. But Slim didn't do fake shit. Did Slim do some screwed up shit? Sure she did. And let me just comment on the whole issue with her flipping on Delilah. I can't do that either. I'll save that for later. Okay, so anyway, all I'm gonna say on Slim right now, because there's two other girls who I have to kind of relate back to Slim to prove my point. Okay, so I'm done with Slim at the moment. Lauren is hands down, without a doubt, 100% my favorite of this season. I cannot say I enjoyed any girl in this season more than I enjoyed her. Like, honestly, I feel like she was so entertaining. She was so fun. Every single episode, she made me laugh. Like, I feel like Lauren is gorgeous. Lauren is a beautiful girl. And, I mean, I feel like she's so entertaining. And it's like, I feel like she was the one girl in the house who I felt was, like, the realest bitch in the house. Like, she wasn't necessarily real with Red, which kind of upset me. No one really was. But I felt like Lauren kept it real with everyone. And out of everyone in the house, Lauren was the only one who stated her opinion, like, every single time. And I really respected Lauren for that. And I feel like Lauren definitely made a mark on the show. I feel like there's, certain girls in the past who have had, like, the whole ratchet or ghetto persona or whatever. But I feel like Lo really hits the nail on the head. I feel like Lo is the one who, I mean, it sounds insulting to call her ghetto or ratchet. Not ratchet. She's not ratchet, okay? But she definitely has a lot of ghetto in her. And I adore it. I think that makes her the person she is. That makes her the character she is. And I feel like she's really animated. Like, the shit she says and the shit she does, the way she says stuff, the way she, like, does stuff, like, her voice, like, it's funny. Like, there's always something about Lauren that's just perfect and spot on. You see it, and you're like, she is so entertaining. And let me tell you, Lauren is the only bad girl, like, pretty much out of the history of all of these. I see her everywhere. Like, if you go on Tumblr, the, like, posts with a gif of her saying something have, like, 300,000 notes. And then, like, there's pictures of her on Tumblr saying shit she said on the show, or Twitter saying shit she said on the show. Like, Lauren is genuinely one of the only girls who has, like, been recognized outside of BGC as something funny, which is really, really interesting to me. I don't know. I love Lauren, and I can genuinely say Lauren's one of my favorites of all time. I love her. I really do. And I feel like the way she handles things and the way she does things is just really, really genuine. And I do feel like she was the baddest bad girl of that season. Moving on. Jada. Jada was, I mean, as I started off these reviews, I was not a Jada fan. I really wasn't. I'm still not. I'm sorry. But let me explain why. I feel like Jada tried really, really hard to put on this front. I feel like Jada put on this front. I mean, I don't think that Jada isn't a bad girl, because Jada is a bad girl. She is. I mean, she's loud, she speaks her mind, she, has a short temper. She is. That is what she is. And I'm not even trying to, belittle her character or diminish that or take that away from her. Jada is a bad girl. The thing that upsets me about Jada is I feel like in certain situations where Jada needs to look at it and realize that maybe she looks a certain type of way, she needs to actually take something from that and be like, well, yeah, maybe I'm being looked at a certain type of way because I'm out of context with this. And I feel like Jada, honestly, say what you want about Slim being a bad friend. I think Jada was a shit friend to Slim. She was. Like, I thought the whole season Jada was a shit friend to Slim. And you know what proved it to me? You know what proved it to me was the last episode. That was some disgusting shit to me. That was disgusting. Because, in my opinion, the only girl in that house who threw her shit out that had any right to do it was Lauren. Because Lauren had made it clear she did not like Slim all season. So for Lauren to throw Slim out of the house, shocker, not really. Lauren made it clear she didn't like Slim and wanted nothing to do with her, and she didn't deserve to be there. Blue never said anything to Slim. This is what pisses me off. Slim, this is... Okay, I want to piggyback to the night they went out without Jada. And Slim had said all this shit about Jada at the club and came home and said, you were not the topic of conversation tonight. I understand where Slim's coming from because in Slim's mind, Slim was not talking shit about Jada. And I know that sounds dumb and it sounds like I'm trying to make excuses. Let me tell you, I understand this because I have had friends who had the mentality like that. One of my friends, like, I have a friend who says shit like that all the time. Like, shit that comes off really offensive, but not meant. She told one of my other friends at one point, you're really pretty for a girl with crooked teeth, but did not mean it offensive at all. So when the girl reacted, like, oh my god, why did you say that? Like, she was shocked. So it's like when Slim came home from the club, Slim was probably looking at it like, yeah, I said stuff about Jada, I was venting about Jada, but no one else brought up her name, so no one was talking shit about her. With that being said, I know Slim talked shit about Jada. I know Slim might have talked to Jada and then hung out with other girls. But Slim would have never done that shit that Jada did to Slim. And that was fucked up to me. That was fucked up that even though she screwed you over, that you can claim to be this girl's friend, you can claim to be this girl's friend, and then decide because she's not putting in an effort to have fun, because the only girls who like her in the house are public enemy number 2 and 3, and she's not trying to have fun, and you go and leak her shit and everything she said because you have a hunch. You sit there and tell Jonica everything, and then the fact that this bitch has the audacity to put her hands on Slim shit and throw it out. She had the audacity to touch her friend's shit. That's what pissed me off, is if Jada would have known what Slim said that night, then it would have been completely different. Completely different. But what Jada said pretty much is what she said at the reunion. I'm trying not to talk about the reunion here, but this helps my point. Jada calls Slim a stealth mode terrorist because Slim would talk to Jada and then go hang out with other girls and was giving Jada mental terrorism, making her think she can't trust her. What I don't understand is, this is one of the reasons I think Jada's a contradiction, is because you sit here and go, Slim, I don't understand, because you be talking to me about how you don't like this bitch, and then you turn around on this bitch, or you turn around and don't hang out with me and hang out with these bitches. While you team up with these bitches you guys don't like and throw her out of the house. I don't understand. Like, how does that make any sense to complain because she's hanging out with people you guys talk shit about, and then join up with the people you guys talk shit about and remove her from the house? I legitimately do not understand what the fuck was going through Jada's head. But I feel like Jada is a people pleaser, and Jada was trying really hard to be Lo and Blue's friend. And I mean, if you pay attention, after Slim leaves, or when Slim isn't there, Jada does the same shit with Slim and Lo. That, like, there are numerous occasions you can see Jada wants to be friends with Lauren. Like, Jada wanted to be friends with Lauren. The proof was in the pudding. You could tell the way Jada said and did certain things. Jada wanted to be friends with Lauren. Jada wanted to be liked by Lauren. Like, even at the reunion, you can tell, though. It's like, Jada would do anything. Like, Jada would try to do anything to kind of form a bond between her and Lauren. And it was sickening to me, and I felt like, honestly, I don't hate Jada. At the reunion, that's a different story. We'll talk about that when I make my reunion review. I don't dislike Jada because of the fact that she's loud and her voice is really, really, really annoying, and because she fights with the girls I like. I don't like Jada because I feel like the whole time Jada was trying to prove something to everyone else, she should have been trying to prove something to herself. What I do respect about Jada, this is what I will say I adored about Jada, was watching the season, Jada seemed to be like the only girl in the house who genuinely cared about changing. When the life coach came, Jada was on it. You know, when they did these trust activities, when they went to that camp in Lake Geneva or whatever, Jada was the one who was all for it. Like, Jada really wanted to change. And the other thing I respect about Jada is Jada, you know, is a really family-oriented person. And I'm kind of a family-oriented person when it comes to, like, my mom and my sister. It's like, you know, I'm the type of person who likes, I feel like Jada would have been on my good side if she had done shit so differently. That's all I'm saying. Last but not least, Blue. Now, I started off this season, as I said in my earlier reviews, I adore Blue. Blue is just great. I love Jonica. And if you cannot tell by my face, it makes me completely disgusted to even fucking say this, because that bitch completely screwed herself over for me, and I cannot stand her the least bit. I could go on about this bitch forever. Let me start. What I liked about Jonica initially was Jonica was really chill. She wasn't trying to be involved in drama. She was trying to be cool with everybody. Laura, the life coach, even approached her and was like, you seem to be really cool and really chill. Maybe you should, try to get these girls to be cool, get them to connect and be friends. And I thought, well, that's perfect for Blue. The moment Blue kind of struck me, I was like, something's really off about Blue, is when Red fought Jada, and Blue decided she wasn't going to fuck with Red anymore. But instead of taking that and moving forward, she decided she was going to go and make sure Britt and Lauren didn't like Red either. That was fishy to me. I felt like if you are so genuine and you're this real chill bitch, why does it matter if Lauren and Britt are so cool with Red? That shouldn't matter to you. If you don't want to fuck with Red, cool. Let them do their thing. But Blue went and kind of convinced them, like, no, don't be friends with Red. She's an actress. Which is, I'm sick and tired of hearing Red get called an actress. She's a fucking comedian. Okay, and no, I'm not stupid and I'm not just unintelligent and think they actually think she's an actress. I'm saying the reason she is so loud and she is so vibrant like that, she's a fucking comedian. Have you watched a comedy show? That's literally what they do. Moving on. What pisses me off about Jonica is this bitch has the audacity to sit here and talk about Slim. Slim doesn't belong here. Slim's not a bad girl. What has she done to prove herself bad? Bitch, what have you done besides get pussy and talk shit about everyone in that house? Like, is being a thought really make you a bad girl? Like, honestly, really? I'm okay. This is my thing. I'm really sad that I don't like Blue in an aspect because she's dating Jennifer from BGC10, who was one of the most beautiful females ever, and I would love for that to be the next Julie and Rocky, but I can't stand Blue. Okay, and it's like, what did Jonica do? Okay, and this is what pisses me off is when everyone has this issue because when Delilah came into the house, Slim hadn't flipped out on anybody. Slim hadn't flipped out on anyone or talked shit to anyone, and she talked shit to Delilah. Then they're in the limo, and Jonica makes a rude comment to Delilah and goes, "You were in the same dress you got here in. Like, that's the first person you said shit to." Excuse me? Like, that's what I'm annoyed of. That's what I'm annoyed of, is that shit right there. It's contradictory. It is. It's a contradiction. Like, bitch, you are so whack. And, like, the fact that what I loved about that whole thing in the limo was when she made fun of Delilah for getting her lip busted and wearing the same dress. Delilah just looked at her and went like, "Bitch, are you talking to me?" And Blue was dead silent. Blue did not say shit. Delilah just, like, looked at her and said one thing. Wasn't even an insult. Wasn't even rude. Wasn't even, like, an initiation comment. Or, like, "I want to fight you" type of statement. And Blue shut her dumb-ass mouth. And Blue proceeded to get loud and get attitude with Delilah throughout Delilah's time being there. And which made no sense because everyone dogged on Slim for, deciding that she was going to flip out on Delilah or getting all gangsta on Delilah after not getting loud with anyone else. But literally, who did Jonica get loud with besides Delilah before this whole season? Like, before Delilah even got there. Like, can you think of someone else? And don't tell me Red in Lake Geneva, because that was not a legitimate argument. It was not. Okay? What else pissed me off? This is what pissed me off and disgusted me. This disgusted me. Is Britt whoops Delilah's ass. And all Jonica is talking about is how it was fucked up that Britt thought Delilah, who wasn't fighting back, because Delilah wasn't going to fight back. Okay, Delilah isn't going to fight back. Britt whooped her ass. Delilah just sat there and let it happen. So that was wrong of Britt and fake of Britt to even lay a hand on Delilah when she knew she wasn't going to hit back. So the last episode, when Jonica decides she's going to tell Lo what Slim had said, and they go and confront her in the shower, which is when Lo calls her out on the pussy smelling comment, like, "My pussy don't stink." And Slim, God loves Slim's heart for saying, "Mine smells bad sometimes too." Slim. Anyway, so Jonica is getting loud with Slim, who doesn't get loud. And this bitch has the audacity to push her head. Keep your grimy ass fucking fingers off her forehead because you know damn well they've been an Asia, Diamond, and Raisha the whole season before you put them on her forehead. And you know she isn't going to hit back. You knew she wasn't going to hit back, and that's why you did it. That's why you did it, is because you knew she wasn't going to hit back. You took those little fingers with all of Asia's cooties on them and went boop to her forehead. Bitch. In what fucking world is that right? In what world? Y'all sit here and preach about how Slim flips out on the first person who ain't gonna do shit, but what's Slim gonna do? Walk down the runway? What's she gonna be like? I don't really care that you thumped my forehead. That's exactly what she's gonna do. What has Slim done all season that has made you think going like this to her forehead twice is gonna do shit? Raising your voice to her because she isn't gonna do shit. Let me tell you something. Jonica throwing Slim out of that house was fucked. Because Jonica had never, until that night, had anything to say to Slim. Everything Jonica felt about Slim stayed in here. So fuck Jonica. Honestly, I cannot stand that bitch. And let me tell you, this is solidified evidence that Jonica's fake. Solidified evidence. And if I could show you one clip, one single clip to prove my theory that Jonica is a fake ass bot, this is it. Leaving the house, it's only Jada, Lo, and Jonica. And as Blue's leaving, Jada's ass is going, oh, my baby Blue, life coach number 2, I'm gonna miss you. Hold up. Let me. I'm just trying to. This is my thing. Okay. All we have seen Jonica say about Asia, or Jada in her confessionals, was how Jada was fake as fuck. She hated Jada. She wanted nothing to do with Jada. She didn't fuck with Jada. She didn't like Jada. She didn't want nothing to do with Jada. Fuck Jada. So, if Jada knows you don't like her because you say how you feel, you say it how it is, right? Like, you tell people how you feel, and that's legit. And Jada knows that you don't want shit to do with her, you don't like her, you don't fuck with her, then why is the bitch calling you life coach number 2? Why is she so devastated to see you walk out that door? Why are you not being like Lauren, which was real as fuck, and saying, I'm not gonna hug you, but I'll shake your hand, and you're hugging her in your fucking thought-ass blazer with no shirt under it? Like, how dare you? How dare you sit here and preach to be this real-ass bitch and leave Jada thinking y'all are besties? Really? Like, really? If you were as real at all as you were supposed to be, Jada would have shook your hand maybe and watched you walk out that house saying, you know, me and Jonica had our differences, but, you know, I'm glad she learned and changed, which is she didn't. Let's be clear that Jonica walked into that house wanting to change, and her main thing she wanted to do was learn how to be faithful and be able to be loyal to a female, and walked out of that house in her last life coach session saying, I didn't change and I'm perfectly fine with it. How the fuck can you spend 2 months trying to change and commit and work on something, visiting a life coach and actually setting a goal, and then not achieving it and going like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. It's cool. I'm not ready yet. You know, I just blew off this whole entire fucking show for, like, go home. Go home. She needed to go home. y'all are sitting here going, oh, Slim needs to leave because Slim hasn't done shit. Name me one thing in the comments. It's a challenge. Name me one thing in the comments that Slim has done besides have sex and talk shit and thump somebody's head who wasn't gonna fight back. What has Jonica done? What? What has Jonica done since fuck around, thump somebody's head, and talk unlimited shit about people who had no idea what she was talking about? Rest assured, Jonica is the fakest bitch this season. I don't care what your opinion on her is. I don't care if Jonica is just the bee's knees to you. I really don't. You know, it is really whatever. You can have your own opinion on her. But one thing you cannot tell me is that Jonica did more than Slim to make herself considered a bad girl. Oh, you have sex with multiple people and you don't feel bad about it, you don't feel remorse. No, honey, that's called a thought. That's not a bad girl, that's a thought. Like, you are here, you're supposed to be here because you're a badass bitch who don't care and speaks her mind, but you never spoke your mind at all throughout that house. Like, really? And then you have the audacity to walk up into the reunion sticking a fucking fork in the outlet or electric socket or whatever it is and being like, oh, this is what my hair is going to look like for the reunion. Like, bitch, do not. Do not. I can't with Jonica. It's sad because Jonica went from being one of my favorites to my least favorite this whole season. I have no respect for Jonica. There's not one thing she has done, looking back on the season, that I can credit her for. The only thing I could maybe kind of give her credit for is giving Lindsay a chance and for giving Asia a chance. But other than that, I cannot really say Jonica has done anything to win my liking. Jonica is genuinely the fakest bitch that whole entire season. She was. And it really, really pisses me off that nobody else in the season saw that before the reunion and could walk out there and just beat the fucking shit out of her. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that because nobody deserves to get the shit beat out of them. I would just like to see somebody confront Jonica and be like, bitch, you had all that shit to say in confessionals, and when nobody was listening, how about you say that shit to my face, or hit me, or something. Or you can be like Britt, and Britt should have walked up to her, or Red, and be like, bitch, fuck you. Like, honestly, like, I'm not even trying to hear about how Slim didn't deserve to be in the house and had no right to be in there because of the fact that, she didn't do shit. I mean, Slim sucked dick. She had just as much sexual action as Jonica did. Like, oh, I forgot Raisha. Oh, I'll add her in. I'll add her in the end a little bit. But yeah, Jonica is definitely my least favorite. I cannot stand that bitch. Fuck Jonica. Mm-mm. Do not even try to call yourself a bad bitch and call Jada, or call Slim. Say Slim doesn't deserve to be there. What makes you deserve to be there? I mean, if I really wanted to, I could go sleep with a bunch of people, and I could talk shit about people without them knowing, and I could call myself the baddest motherfucker in the world, but it's like, I'm not stupid. I know that having sex with a bunch of people does not make me bad. It just makes me, like, or I shouldn't say having sex with a lot of people, because, I mean, do what you want, but, like, when you're sitting there calling yourself a bad girl because you cheat on people, and you have sex with multiple people, no, that doesn't make you bad. That doesn't make you bad. You're just sad. So, Raisha, I'm kind of I didn't forget about Raisha on purpose, I promise, because I like Raisha, and I feel like it would have been really, really nice to see Raisha come instead of like Lindsay, or not Lindsay, Asia, because I feel like it would have been really interesting to see, like, even though it didn't work well with the Victor twins, of course, my a Tumblr mutual I'm cool with brought that up, like, you know, that would be cool to see them together, but like then they'd probably end up like the Danny and Gabby. Which is I'd be fine with if it was Lauren and Raisha, honestly, because that'd be hilarious. But I kind of adored Raisha, even though I felt really bad for her when they were running the race in Barcelona and Raisha could not catch up to save her life. And I really, really actually kind of, that's another thing I want. No, okay, I'll do that in a reunion. But, the reunion video. But, I thought Raisha was really cute. I thought her personality was cute. I felt really bad that she, wanted to work on these issues and met with the life coach. Too late, Raisha. Um, hashtag too late, Raisha. Oh my god. Um, poor Raisha. But no, I felt like Raisha definitely should have had more time to prove herself because she would have been great. I loved Raisha. Well, that's it for my review, or my reviews, or my thoughts on the end of the season. The beginning was kind of boring because I liked the girls. When I get annoyed by certain things, like when things annoy me, I'll get really like aggravated about it and talk like really, really, really like rude about it. So with that being said, the reunion review is going to be a mess, I think, maybe, unless I'm just, like, tired or not even having it at that point, because so far from this reunion, like, I'm really pissed, and I'm honestly, like, about to read Jonica and Jada for Phil. So stay tuned for that. The one thing I have to say, though, about Raisha is, what in the world made you think it was cute in your audition tape to light your ass on fire? Why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? Honey, I love you, but why would you do that?